Howdy folks, Kirk and Jason here with Kirk Giordano Plastering. Today I want to show you guys some tips on lathing your own additions, your own remodels. Why? Because we have a lot of issues here. These folks said, Kirk, we watched your video and we were going to do it ourselves, but decided we'd pay you because, or somebody similar to you, because there's a lot of ins and outs we don't know. I'm going to show you guys some ins and outs you may not know. All right, number one. They got a beautiful patio here. It's all. Take a quick peek at this, Jay. It's a beautiful patio. They're going to be having a barbecue here and the rest of that jazz. But here, where they did the stamped concrete, they put the concrete here on the ground and it went up. This is fine. That's A1. This is perfect. So a weep screed goes on here, and it basically protects the mud sill. What happens when you don't protect a mud sill? I'll show you what happens. Okay, right here we have a mud sill, and it's on top of the stamped concrete. Before they did the stamped concrete, they could have put metal here, but it's easier to do it the way they did. Now, what we've done is we'll take some good caulking. It's got to be a good polyurethane caulking, preferably an adhesive sealant. And what I do is I cut these tips at an angle. That way I can go up the wood and then down, and you make it a V. Why? So that a weep screed, which has got to go on the ground now, can easily sit down. A lot of times my own caulking will shoot out of these weep holes. This is all going to be painted, so it doesn't need to weep or drip. So that piece goes there, this piece goes here, and we just bend that around. While we're at it, you can show what I've already done over here. The same applies, guys. It doesn't matter. You've got to protect the mud seal. Now, what happens, say, if you don't protect the mud seal? Well, I'll show you guys. All right. Now, we got a lot of things going on here, by the way, guys. A lot of things, but nothing we can't handle. Okay, you take these vents, for example. Those are not stucco vents. Well, they are stucco vents, but they're not louvulared. If you have the louvulars, they also have this mesh netting to protect from, say, bees or wasps going inside here, things of little critters, bugs. But they have the louvulars, so the water hits them and slides harmlessly down. If you don't have a louvular, what will happen, guys? Okay, the same thing I'm protecting over here, the mud sill, is what they have here. This is the piece of wood, starts the foundation of the house. That's a mud sill down here. Now this mud sill, after say 10 years or even 8, will warp. When the water gets on it, say 10, 20, 30 days of rain, or like the Noah's Ark, the 3 months flood, we get a lot of rain here. This wood will swell. What happens when it swells? We'll get big cracks right here. You can already see them right here. But more importantly, you can get buckling. This wall right here comes out. And yeah, they don't have a weep screed here or a drip, but what they have is allowing water, rainwater in here for many, many years. And that just, you get this cracking right here. You'll get it because you should have a vent, a proper vent. And by the way, they're going to get proper vents for the work we're doing now. And the fellow said, well, gee whiz, I just wanted to match what I had. I said, you want to match that buckling wall? You don't want to do that. All right, follow me. We'll put this rock in the way. All right, let me get over this rock. I'm going to show you guys a couple other things since we're already here. Again, this weep screed or drip screed is not even going to be used for its intention, but it will give us something to stop to because it's all going to get painted here. Defeats the purpose of the water weeping through. Follow me here, and we got a bit of a traffic jam. Nothing we can't handle. See, those vents right here, now those are cute, but they will allow the same thing to happen. We're on the southwest side. Water comes southwest. It'll rot out that mud sill in no time, so we don't want that. They're going to pick up the proper vents. We're going to install them. And while we're on all that stuff, as far as what to do, what not to do, they also had electrical boxes there that were flush with the wood. the boxes can't be flush with the wood. They've got to come out 7/8 of an inch, so they're going to replace that too. Last thing I want to show you while I'm here is, okay, now these guys, whoever installed the windows did a really, really good job. So what we're doing is we apply our weep, we put our paper under here, and then we put this down. Great job. Is it necessary to caulk between the woods? No, it's going to get 2 minutes or 2 layers of 60-minute paper anyhow, so that's not necessary. Here, when I first got here, like on the other side, we got to beat it out. On this side where it joins the house, they put this tiny bead of caulk in here. Now that tiny bead of caulking is cute, but it's not going to serve the proper function. What I do is, again, I cut this at a severe angle. That way I can put my caulking here, and don't skimp, guys. If it takes 2 or 3 tubes, use 2 or 3 tubes. And then we put it here. Now, this caulking is protruding out a bit, but I want it to protrude out a bit because, now granted, we're not going to get any rain under here, but if it were exposed, the rain could get in here and do the exact same thing it's been doing on the mud seal on the opposite side. It could make this wood swell. We get cracks in the stucco. They'd call me and say, hey, Kirk, you did something wrong, when in fact it's not old Kirk. And here's what, this is called a J channel, J trim, J casing bead, and a lot of times they're used for commercial projects. Even in some states they put them around the windows, but not here in California. Now what you want is your J trim to go on here. It's to give a guide. Now, you know you got enough caulking if your J trim sticks. Say like, okay, we put that on. Now it's sticking because I'm using a polyurethane caulking with an adhesive, so it's stuck by itself, and the caulking does come through the nail holes. No worries about that. Anyway, guys, I want to show you just a few tips. If you're going to lath your own house, I say good for you, because that's something you can do. Some of our plastering videos are a wee bit more difficult. Okay, guys, let's review. There's the tie-in, the proper tie-in. This is stud wall, no shear wall backing or plywood backing. It's kind of tough to get to. Also, if you guys are going to do your electrical outlets, make certain they're out a solid inch to account for the stucco. He had to go get some stucco rings because he set these in, or the electrician set them in flush. Don't do that, guys. And if you remember, always use a good construction sealant. This is a sealant and adhesive, so it adheres to everything. Right here on this side, see, these are the proper ones for you homeowners. If you're going to buy them, buy the ones that have a screw right here, and it can adjust the fittings to go in or out with the electrical outlets. All of these he had to get rings for because they didn't set them. The electrician didn't know. I'll show you one last thing while we're at it, and just show you the benefit of these liveler vents. Now, they also have the screen in back so the bugs can't get in, but possums, rats can't go through here too. And it's protected. All the mud seal is protected. While we're on it, one last thing for a fella, LSD or LSZ guy. He always asks about expansion joint. Now, we put an expansion joint here. Why? Because I can see the foundation here. This foundation is poured differently than the rest of the house. And what is going to happen with this house? I'll tell you what will happen. We get 10 days of rain, let alone 3 months of rain. The house is going to lift. That's what the rain does, guys. It lifts the houses, concrete. It doesn't matter how big a house is. It'll lift it, and then when drier conditions occur, it'll settle. And when it settles, we'll get some hairline cracks. Will we still get some hairline cracks with expansions? Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, the house here and the house next door are just the same. They have just as big a gable, and they don't have any expansion joints. You don't really need it, guys, but I like to put it in when I see a situation such as this, and I know the house is going to lift and drop or settle independently. So we try to avoid any excess cracking if you can. There's only so much you can do. The weather plays the biggest part. Anyway, guys, we thank you for watching, and as usual, live long and plaster.
By the way, folks, my dad and I are now members of Amazon affiliates, so if you're looking to buy any of the plastering or construction tools you've seen in our videos and you want to support us in the process, you can check the links below our video, or you can go to our website and get them there. If you have any other questions for tools we don't have linked, email us direct and we'll respond to you then.
Once again, folks, we thank you for watching, and I really enjoy all your comments.
If you guys like this video, please click the like button down below, and also if you enjoy what we do, subscribe to our channel so we can keep making these videos for you.
My name is Kirk.
And Jay.
We thank you for watching, and from the entire Giordano family, we'll see you on the next one.